What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Undercover Vikings. I missed you guys. I'm so sorry. I did not post a video last week, and that's just because my camera broke. I dropped it. Ouch. But so right now, like, I'm filming on my phone, which doesn't have good camera quality because I need my other phone. But anyway, I was just like, I'm gonna post a video because I felt so bad for not posting one last week. I really felt bad. I did not have a way or how or means, and I should have fought harder. I should have. I'm so sorry, guys. But it was also hard enough to film anyway, just because we've lost our king, our favorite, Ragnar. OMG, I don't know how I am going to go through the rest of these episodes without seeing Travis Fimmel's face every day. Anyways, so Ragnar died like a true Viking. He gave an amazing speech. Guys, I love this speech. Like, how could, like, even though he denounced his belief in Valhalla and all the gods and everything, he still died like a true king. He did it for his people, guys. That speech was just for his people, and he let King Egbert know that, listen, even though I don't believe it, my people do, and that's what's gonna help them survive if that's what they believe in. And so he gave that amazing speech, and then he was thrown in the pit of snakes, which we all knew was gonna happen. I think that Michael helped us to prepare for that, because I didn't cry as much as I did for Athelstan. I think with Athelstan I cried for days, but with Ragnar I was ready for it. I knew he wanted it, so I was okay with it. It was still sad to see him go, because, guys, he's the reason why we fell in love with the show in the first place, and now for him not to be there, how will we survive? How will we survive? Anyways, so he did die with honor. So now in this new episode, he visits Lagertha, which was, I think, the most touching moment for everyone, I think, just because we all wanted them to get back together, and it shows a true sign of, OMG, they just might end up together. And she could feel his happiness, which is a good thing to confirm for us. And then Odin, by all means, was walking around and letting the sons of Ragnar know that your father is about to enter into Valhalla. And of course, that just goes to show that Ragnar did make it to Valhalla despite his non-belief in the gods. And I think his speech and his silent death is what sealed his fate. And it was good to see Odin. He looks kind of young, don't you think? I mean, he's had this scraggly old kind of look on him, but he looked kind of young, which was a little weird for me. But his eye was missing, so of course, who else would it be? Now, Ivar goes home and realizes he is an orphan. His mother is dead, which he cherishes, and his father is gone as well. And he's the only one to kind of have the last moments to have spent with Ragnar, and that is hard for a son. Him yelling on top of the mountain was like, it was hard to see that. But I think that we've all fallen in love with Ivar, that we can appreciate him taking the role of his father as one of the main characters, which we're gonna need if we're gonna survive this, guys. We're gonna need this. So much stuff happened in this episode. Ivar threatened Lagertha, and then Lagertha finds out that her fate is sealed by the hands of Ragnar's sons, which means she's going to die. I thought that Finehair was going to be the one to end up killing her, only because of the fact that he's supposed to become king of all Norway. But now that it's sealed that one of the sons is going to kill her, then, and we know how Ivar can carry rage, he's starting to get his scary Viking on right now, guys. I was not as scared of him before as I was in this episode, when he was just spending most of this episode just shielding the sword that I think he's going to slice into Lagertha's heart. I love you, Lagertha, but you did kill his mother, and you know he was a mama's boy in a little bit of a way. Not really, but still. And then we go on to see that Bjorn does make it to makes it through the Mediterranean and actually gets into one of the Ottoman lands, which the reason why I say Ottoman, because I know that the Ottoman dynasty was sometime in that era. So it's either Ottoman land or prior to the Ottoman dynasty. But it has to be one of their lands. I'm thinking Constantina, which is now known as Istanbul. So I don't know if that's where they are. But just because these are Muslims and they're worshiping Allah, that's the only reason why I'm putting 2 and 2 together. And if you guys didn't know this weird fact, you know, in season 3 when Ragnar commissions for Floki to find a way to get the boats over dry land and into the next side, back into the water, that was actually something that the Ottomans did. It wasn't what Vikings did, but it was something that the Ottomans did in their pursuit of Constantina. That's why I just assumed that they just Michael just decided to use that exploit to put into the series. But it was actually done by the Ottomans, which, if you don't know about their history, there's a great series on Netflix called Magnificent Century, which you can watch, and it's about the Ottoman dynasty. It's really similar to the Vikings, how they pursued new lands through, you know, just fighting and everything. And I loved it. I kind of binged that too. So anyway, moving on. So they enter into this Muslim land, and I was so surprised to see that Floki actually kind of appreciated these Muslims, because they were being sieged, and yet these men were still worshiping Allah, and they didn't stop worshiping. That was the force of their belief and their faith, and that was so weird. Even when one got killed, they were still worshiping, and Floki found something very disturbing about that. But it's kind of crazy because he did not appreciate the Christians for that, but he's definitely appreciating these Muslims for that, and he's ordering Feinherr and the rest of the men that they cannot touch these men, which is okay, because I honestly thought that they were going to kill Floki at that moment, but they didn't. They were brave enough to know and smart enough to know that that was not the right time or place to to try to take over the Lothbrooks, which at this point Floki is a Lothbrok because he is who he is. I was very surprised by what Helga did. Like, Helga was asking Floki for another kid, and Floki was like, hell no, I am not putting my love into another person. I'm already losing everybody that I've been with for so long. I am not about to put another child into our lives. And I think that this is what's going to seal the fate of the separation between Helga and Floki, because we do know that Floki is still destined to become the seer, so it's going to be hard for him to become the seer if he still has Helga at his side. So I'm thinking that Helga taking this little girl with her is going to seal their fate as a couple. It's going to drastically change that, and that's going to be kind of heartbreaking at the same time, because we know that it has to happen. But Michael does a great job at preparing us, guys, for these shocking things that happen. And then what is going on with Bjorn and this weird Muslim girl? Like, I don't understand this, but he's eyeing her and she's eyeing him, so I don't know. Something's gonna happen, but I hope that doesn't break him and Torvi. But who knows how Bjorn's gonna react when he finds out that Lagertha actually killed Queen Asla, because he doesn't know this yet, but he will find out soon enough. So, and being that her fate is sealed, will Bjorn play a part in trying to defend his mother? Some people say that they've seen Lagertha fighting in new wardrobe, so they're thinking that she's going to be here for a little bit longer. But I believe that it's slowly by slowly we're going to be losing all our original characters, and we're going to have to adapt to all these new characters, being that Margaret is going to play a big part. Now, her and Uber are having this thing going on. Now, we all thought that, yes, it did start with Uber, but then it kind of moved on to Ivar, but she fears Ivar very much, but she feels like Ivar owns her. So it's going to be hard to see that. Maybe Uber and her are going to develop this relationship, and then something's going to happen between Uber and Ivar. I just don't know. That's the weird part. That is such an unstable thing. Margaret's character, I just don't know where she stands. She's like the weirdest girl in this whole thing. I don't know where she stands. It scares me. But smart for King Egbert, who understands Ragnar and understands Vikings and understands enough that he could agree with his son in saying that, yes, we have to prepare for when the Vikings come, because these are Ragnar's son, not Ragnar. Oh my gosh, this video is so freaking long. But I had to make up for last week, guys. I did. I feel like I've left things out, but I'm going to definitely try to post more, and hopefully I'm going to get a new camera really soon, guys. It's just crazy with the whole holidays and everything. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you guys share this video, like this video, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye!